Welcome back to the Right Read Podcast. As always, I am one of your four distinguished hosts at the Draft Combine. Was really fun. 223. DeAndre, you can find me at Willems, WILLLUMZ on X.
Asad, you can find me on Twitter as always at UsadNBA.
I don't have a funny joke today. Bias Houston on Twitter.
I have something serious on my mind today.
I don't have nothing. There's no jokes.
I am go get me Isaiah Evans or Jaden Quaidnitz. You can find me on Twitter at Jesus Supremacy.
Yeah.
And today we are continuing our playoff coverage episodes. We are going to start off with, I think, one of the better games I think we've seen from an individual player in this playoff so far, and a pretty entertaining game overall, and what has been a very entertaining series. Now 3-2 going back to Minnesota. The San Antonio Spurs obviously leading 3-2 over that in the series over the Timberwolves after winning Game 5 in San Antonio. Wemby went just nuclear in that first quarter or first half per se. So it was
first quarter specifically. He had 16 in the first quarter on like 7 shots. Just like absolutely could not miss. Just going absolutely insane. Funny enough, you said it's the best individual performance or like one of the best individual performances of the playoffs. I think the other argument for that would be like Wemby Game 3.
Yes, Wemby Game 3. Yeah.
Right? Like
Game 3 was great.
Yeah, it's I think my biggest takeaway from the game was definitely concern for Minnesota. I think we've been saying on this pod specifically that like we don't see Minnesota losing a Game 6 at home. And so we think if it got to this point, it's going to end up Game 7 at Spurs, and then we don't know how that goes. But man, you look at the playoffs as a whole at this point, like now we're nearing the end of the second round. The only 3 games the Spurs have lost are one where Wemby knocked himself out, one where Wemby got ejected into the 12 minutes into the game, and the third where Wemby had like a 5 of 17 shooting night, just an atrocious game in Game 1, right? And it's just like, man, if Wemby is just his regular season average, I don't think the Wolves are a better team. And it's at this point, it's like you have 2 games left, and it's if Wemby can just be Wemby for one of the next 2 games, which I think is more likely than not. Wemby's been Wemby basically every other game this series if he's on the court or not getting ejected. And it's just like, man, as someone who really wanted Minnesota to win, sorry Spurs fans, they're just a better story. I don't care for y'all. And who was really rooting for them. My hopes for this series are kind of. I think Spurs take it in 6 or 7.
I think when I heard Anthony Edwards, I think it was after Game 4, the post game interview. He was like, "I was talking to Dylan Harper, I was talking to Rook. If I had my legs, if you had your legs, dang man,
yeah." But I don't know. I mean, how do you guys feel about the series?
They go first.
I feel like your assessment for the most part is right. I think the scariest thing if you are in Minnesota is how he's scoring. Because we talked about like early on in the playoffs and specifically early on in this series, he was settling for a lot of like long threes and like contested long twos that he really did not have to take, but he was kind of letting himself be baited into taking it. Game 3 was like the perfect like proof of concept game of like, hey, you can just get to the basket whenever you want, and on top of getting to the basket whatever you want, you can also get 10 free throws a game if you want to get 10 free throws a game. And I think Game 5 was a continuation of that because I mean obviously he ended up blowing him out, so he didn't really get to the same 40 points he got to Game 3, but the process was heading that way the same way it was heading that way in Game 3. I think if you're in Minnesota, your best bet has always been within the Spurs others not doing as well, specifically like the guards not playing as well. And I think the mentality there should be taking care of home court Game 6, and then Game 7 you've been in Game 7s, this team hasn't, and so I think the hope there is once you get there, like your experience is going to win out over some of the guys, you know, because the Spurs pretty much they don't really have playoff experience. Like
they really don't.
De'Aaron Fox, but like he played 1 series.
Yeah. Harrison Barnes is by far
the
Luke
only
Cornett
person who actually does, but everybody else, like, I mean, Cornett has some playoff experience from the
Celtics.
Funny enough, this is as far as he's gone.
Really?
Cornett? Yeah, remember they lost to the Knicks.
Yeah, they lost to the Knicks.
You know, he was not on the 24th team. You are so right.
This is as far as Cornett's gone.
I don't remember what other playoff experience he has because I think he was on one of the playoff team. I can't remember.
Yeah, but you mentioned it. Like the rest of their team, like it's Barnes and that's it. And then you look at the Timberwolves team, they got a bunch of guys who they've like none of them have made these like super duper deep finals runs, but they've all been in the playoffs a bunch of times.
Not even just, I think, like individually in the playoffs. They've all been in the playoffs together.
Yeah, as a team.
Like this core has been through game sevens. This core has been through deep series. Yeah, it's year 3. They've been in the Western Conference Finals. If they win this series, they'd be in the Western Conference Finals for 3 straight years. Right? Funny enough, this is the golden era of playoff hoops for the Minnesota Timberwolves. I don't know if you guys have looked at that.
Sure,
that franchise history.
They only won like 3 series before and got there.
Yeah, like this is by far the most playoff success they've had for any kind of sustained level. So like, it's not not just like the players on the roster, like the whole organization. This is like
funny.
Really like
might be like number 3 and number 4. Well, because Cat is like that's the top 3 or top 4 Timberwolves.
Yeah, it's KG Cat. Yeah, KG Cat.
Like, it's them 4, bro.
Yeah.
So sad.
I'm saying the Wolves have historically not been a successful franchise. I think it's a credit to Anthony Edwards and Chris Finch and this current regime. Forgetting the
shout out Tim Connolly, man.
Yeah, Tim Connolly. Yeah, shout out to them for like kind of just putting it in our minds that we think like, oh yeah, the Wolves playoff team gonna win a series. Like they haven't historically not what they've been at all. And it's like that's a
they kind of changed that pretty quickly too. Because a few years ago, like the Timberwolves making the playoffs was kind of like, oh, what like this poverty team that made the playoffs.
Yep.
Like, and
I would say they are
year.
also one of the younger franchises in NBA history.
Yes, they are.
They are. Yeah.
Also, if you compare them to some of the other young franchises we have, they are among, I'd say, the more successful, especially in recent history.
For sure, recent history, yeah.
Yeah, so it's...
you kind of forget Jimmy Butler played for like a
Jimmy,
season.
Yeah, he did.
Like Minnesota's it's weird. Minnesota, I think, is very important to like basketball culture. They've had like a lot of really cool eras, and I think this one is... This team is just so fun. It is, and one thing I wanted to note from that last game is they ended up winning the game by 30. But I don't know if y'all remember, Spurs went on that run in the half, went up 59.
They were up by 12 at half.
Yeah, 59-47.
Yep.
Minnesota came right back in that third quarter and punched them in the mouth.
61-61.
Obviously, Spurs ended up pulling away. They went on a run to close that fourth quarter, or close that third quarter in the to end the fourth, because I think Minnesota ended up cutting it back to like 11 or 10.
Yep.
Made their little fake competitive run. But this is I agree with you that the Spurs at this point are a more talented team. You could just see it. Like Dante's hurt, Ant's clearly a step behind. Dubious handles on the roster.
Man, I was gonna get to him, bro.
It's
what Dubious handles. Man, I'm telling you what Dubious has been doing this series has been like, man, he's having the second most embarrassing playoff series I think of anyone in the playoffs right now.
Because they all just been yearning for cattle on the timeline, bro.
Yep. I think the worst part about it is we had this conversation off air about Anthony Edwards as a playmaker. Everything I said about Ant in that Discord call, multiply it tenfold for Julius Randle. It is abysmal.
Like, say what you want about Ant. If Ant was healthy, he'd be averaging 30 right now. Like,
I mean, he's had to.
He's very clearly physically limited right now. He doesn't run as fast, jump as high. He
can't jump. I mean, like he really just can't.
He's clearly limited.
Like, it's a testament to how good and talented of a scorer he's become. That even when like physically labored,
he's still like having.
Yeah, Julius Randle healthy, bro. Like
he's fully healthy.
2 assists, 5 turnovers. 2 assists, 5 turnovers.
Yep.
0 assists, 2 turnovers, 5 fouls. 3 assists, 6 turnovers.
Yeah, that's dubious handle for real. That's like got to be one of the most like accurate like NBA slander names.
You have to be. You have to be aware of it.
100, bro. You know how long it's been his nickname for?
Yeah, bro. It's been his nickname since he was on the Knicks. It's not even a Wolves name.
Oh man, that's what going to the Knicks do to you, bro.
No, that's what me and Julius Randle does to you. Like, he just, and it's crazy because he had a I think he had a solid playoff run last year.
Yeah, he did.
I was going to say very good, but he was solid in the playoff run last year. He had a decent series against the Nuggets. I'm going to be real. Shout out to Jokic, but I've learned to just tax people for the Nuggets series, man. I Dosumo at a 40 piece.
Man.
All off Jokic drop coverage. Like, I just can't put too much weight and emphasis on your offensive series against the Nuggets. But, I mean, I'm seeing him against the Spurs team, and it's just been bad. Like, there are multiple moments
Spurs
where
better.
There are multiple moments where I really contemplated, like, why isn't Yohan Beringer in this game? Like, why? Like no troll. Like,
bro. Like,
I think Finch is a great coach. I very much question a lot of these coaches just not having the stones to do stuff. And we'll get to that series, but just to use it as an example, the Cavs had 2 timeouts when it was 1-0 whatever to send it into OT.
Yeah, when it was
tied. And they didn't look at Kitty Atkinson. Kitty Atkinson didn't look at them. Donovan Mitchell and James Harden looked at each other and said, "Where do you want the ball?"
Yep.
Call a timeout. Get your play together. And obviously, the Cavs ended up winning. We'll talk about that later. But they didn't really get a good play out of OT. I look at a lot of what Chris Finch has done in this series, and I think he's done as good of a job as you can with what's left of this personnel. But man, I don't know how you're supposed to rein in Julius Randle at this point, but there's got to be a way for you to just take those touches and divert them somewhere else with the talent that this roster does have. Like, they do have other somewhat capable ball handlers, right? Like, Nas Reed functions as one. Jaden McDaniels functions as one. Io functions as one. Julius don't need 20 shots a game and 8 P&R reps. So, like, he's giving you, I want to say his assist turnover ratio is 1 to 3. Like, you can't, like, I can't keep giving you the ball, and I got 2, like the issue, do or die games left. I just can't.
On the team
I was going to say, Mike Conley's dead.
Mike Conley's way too old.
If we go down the names, right? Like, Mike Conley is a quote-unquote, like, better playmaker.
Maybe DiVincenzo, but he's hurt.
Dante hurt.
Game. Like, he not, you know what I mean?
I think people
between him and Io.
People underrate how important Dante was to them, especially, like, down the stretch of like the Nuggets series as well before he got hurt. Like, Dante's been like,
he's just
really good for them.
He's just one of the better role players.
It is a short list of guys who shoot threes at that volume, at that percentage, with that shot diet, and defend. Like, it is just,
puts the ball
and who can put the ball.
Like, if you squint, they can run a
I'm gonna be real. He's the prototypical that the modern day 3-and-D Dre was talking about, where it's like you got to be able to actually dribble, attack a closeout, and shoot and defend.
And mind you, it's pull-ups too. It's movement threes. It's like
he shoots them. And he shoots them from not just in the line.
Deep.
He takes a couple
space out the floor as well. Yeah,
it's like what you're saying, like, that's what, like, DiVincenzo would be the guy who, like, Randall's thinking it up. We just gonna go DiVincenzo,
J-Mac,
Nas Reed, J-Mac, and they gonna eat up all Julius Randle uses. But because DiVincenzo started, like, it's like it's TSJ now, gang. Like, it's Bones Island.
TSJ real.
Shout out TSJ, but
like,
I don't really get why Bones fell out the rotation either, though. Like, that's something I'm kind of looking at Finch. Like,
I mean, I think
he's a legitimate ball handler
at this point.
Yeah, they probably.
I mean,
especially considering how
I get pros got to stay ready, obviously, but like, you giving him a shot after he played 3 minutes last game, and I want to say he played like 8, maybe 12 the game before.
Yeah,
he didn't play.
I still think the biggest factor when you compare the Wolves' performance against the Nuggets series and the Wolves' performance against the Spurs series here, not to like really boil it down to like a one-on-one matchup, but I think
scissors, man.
Yeah, I think Rudy did a better job on Jokic than he's being able to do on Wemby. Now that Wemby has
challenge,
it's a completely different challenge, and I think Jokic, for as unorthodox as he is more of a traditional scoring build, because he is posting up at the end of the day, right? He is trying to back you down, and I think Rudy is built for those. I mean, he's made for these type of matchups. Like, they call him the Stifle Tower, like 4 depoys, because he's a rim deterrent monster, right? Like, he stops post ups. That's what he does. And I think what Wemby is being able to do by like forcing him to take him out to the perimeter, like, I don't know if y'all have looked at like the Rudy on-offs. They're not that good this series.
Yeah, they're not.
Because what Rudy does is he stifles your offense, which they've been fine with, because what he's doing on defense makes up for it. But now that like he's not being able to do that on defense, and I'm not saying Rudy's been bad this series. He just hasn't been able to do what he was able to do to Jokic against Wemby, because Wemby's just better laterally.
They found like enough shot making against the Nuggets to keep Rudy out there, and then Rudy like obviously paid them back by playing the defense.
He had some moments where he was putting that ball in basket.
Like he had
he had a couple,
he had a post up too. That was nasty, but he found like enough utility defensively on Jokic that like the balance was kind of there, just enough for them to like steal game 6 and steal game 2, and ultimately, that won them the series. But I think in this game, in this series, because they're already working from a deficit offensively because they lost DiVincenzo, and Ant's also not healthy, they're going out there and, now it's like, you gotta, like, I need the 5 for 17 Wemby game out of you, or I gotta bench you. And I think it's even worse because Randall was actually pretty decent against the Nuggets, but he's been so bad against Timberwolves. Like, they can't really run them Randall center lineups.
Yeah, they can't. And it's I mean, that's also because it's not just Wemby. Like, they also have like a real backup center rotation. Like, I think Cornette's been pretty good for them in the series.
Yes.
And when you throw out like a guy like Julius Randle in your backup 5, like the objective is to like attack the backups. And Cornette's been good for the Spurs all season at not getting attacked in those kind of lineups.
Yeah, Randall's playmaking just been so much worse this series.
Yeah, that's another problem.
The scary thing for me, if I am the league, it's the Spurs have looked this good because I think they do close it out in 6. I just with the way the momentum is shifting in their direction, with the way Wemby's been playing, I do think they get. I think even if they don't close in 6, I think they win the series. But the scary part for the league is for how good they've been in the playoffs so far, and in this series specifically. I'm still looking at, like, number one, I'm looking at Wemby leaving food on the table because no one on his team outside of Stephon Castle has realized I can just throw the ball up there and he's going to go get it. Like, I think Castle's the only guy who I see consistently make that read. I watched his games and I'm like, Fox, just throw the ball. Like, no one's going to stop him from getting it. He's in position, show the ball, he can catch a lob right there. If they find a way to get him just those extra points, and he already put up 27 last time. He got ejected and it was 39 points after the game before that. And then the other thing is, Dylan Harper is, so clear. We talk about him every podcast at this point. He is so clearly a superstar guard in the making. It is obvious.
It's a Dylan Harper's abundantly obvious, man.
Yeah.
There were people who, like, they talk about the layup gene. Bro, it does not make sense how insanely good his touch around the basket is. It does not matter how fast he's going, what angle he's at. Too. Yes, It does not matter. I've seen him take the craziest angles, the craziest contests, and it's the same soft touch off the glass every single time. It does not make sense. And I don't know. He's in year 1. He's only going to get better than this.
Yeah, it does put the Spurs in obviously they didn't know they were going to get Dylan Harper when they traded for De'Aaron Fox, but I think we've been saying since they got pick 2, since they drafted Dylan Harper, that is going to be a conflict that was on the horizon. And hey, hear me out.
Not at all.
Good problem to have, right? Like, I don't think De'Aaron Fox is awful by any stretch, but it's like your rookie guard is like already outplaying him. And like, as much as we malign De'Aaron Fox, he made the All-Star game this year. Like, if my rookie guard is coming into a playoff series and outperforming an All-Star guard, that's definitely a good problem to have. But it is an issue for them because I don't think you can bench Dylan Harper next season. I don't think you can at all.
You shouldn't, and nor should you. I think you start messing with his development if you start saying,
like, I think you got to start, especially like the high leverage reps he's performing at right now. Like, we've all talked about this, like, postseason basketball, especially for young players, kind of like catapults them evolutionarily, like development wise, generally that following regular season. And it's like, man, he's going to be a monster
matchup too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's real, like, war he's going through right now.
It's always a big difference when you, like, see young players and they go into bad situations or they XYZ good team and they have to find their identity within a team, right? And to your credit, especially with the playoffs or just whenever a guy actually does truly get their opportunity, it is very hard for somebody as talented as Dylan Harper to, at least it would be for me. And I think historically speaking, you see it. For a guy as talented as Dylan Harper, who has now shown himself, the organization, and the world, I'm not just good, I'm really good. Yeah, and I am like, you need to prioritize me.
Like, it was obvious from game 1.
It was like, it was obvious. It was obvious. It's been obvious since his junior year of high school. If you know, you know. Shout out to the MJ Scholars teams. But like, if you really go back and just see, historically speaking, how these guys end up catapulting year 2, year 3. Obviously, it's going to be his second year after a playoff run like this. It's hard for him to go into training camp next year and be like, yeah, I'm the second best player on this team.
And I'm very pro, like, bringing players up slowly. Like, I don't mind that he came off the bench his first year. Like, I think that's fine. Like, I don't think that, like, you need a ton of reps. I think you need quality over quantity for me. And I think he was getting good quality reps the entire season.
They used him correctly. They used him in the right lineups. Very rarely did they throw like the 3-guard stuff out there. They did a really good job.
He played through his ups and downs. Like, he did have rough stretches, as every rookie does. And I want to really emphasize, if he was bad in the playoffs this year, none of us would really be hating on him for it because he is a rookie. Yeah. So the fact that he's not, like, not only not bad, he's been really, really good. He's been, honestly, their second best player. For a team that's looking like they're poised to make the Western Conference Finals, if not further.
He's not been, I don't know if I'd say
Castle's been pretty good.
Yeah, Castle's been pretty good. I think
Castle's probably just the volume in what Castle's doing is probably just leans Castle. But
yeah, it's fair. Castle's been. I think totality of the playoffs, Castle's better. I think Dylan Harper is pushing for 3, if not 2. Right. And I think that like, again, rookie in the playoffs. Like, I can count on
a real contender.
I can count on like 3 or 4 fingers the amount of rookies in the playoffs that have been, like, memorably good. Like,
you can count on your hand the amount of rookies playing in the playoffs right now.
Period. Right. And it's just like,
and he's producing
another time.
Yeah. So, like, and he's playing super well. So, like, huge credit to Dylan Harper. He's going to be amazing for them. But I guess what it sounds like is we all have Spurs in 6 or 7.
I still say 7.
I had Spurs in 7.
yeah.
I'm gonna stick to Spurs in
think-
7.
Minnesota gonna throw them
They
black
just don't
uniforms
look like they have
on.
enough left in
Yeah.
the tank, man.
My thing is, I think what Minnesota just needs.
They squeaked out one without Wemby, and
Yeah.
if Wemby was there, they probably don't win that game. Not even probably. I would assume they don't. It was like a 4-point game.
Yeah, the trend that Minnesota's been winning in the playoffs with is keep the games close, keep it rough, and then pull it out at the end, right? And they tried that again last game. We were talking about like it was tied in the third quarter, but then like the Spurs just go on this crazy run, and like Minnesota's just at this point underhanded, like undermanned.
That
they
third
can't punch
quarter
back.
tie was them catching up.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
was
because
them
they went
getting back
I don't
into
know
the
if
game.
they were. It was tied, not tied, but it was like 45, 47 towards the end of the second.
Yep.
Spurs go on that 12-0 run to end at halftime. At that point, I'm thinking like, all right, they punch him in the mouth to start this game. This game's over. Minnesota throws a punch back.
Yep.
Spurs threw another punch, and it was just they ended up blowing them out, beat them by 30. But
Yeah.
if Minnesota can find a way to, like, I think they go into Game 6. They're gonna throw them black throwback uniforms on. The crowd's gonna be hype. I think they'll have enough momentum behind them, and just it's a pretty tough building to win at. It's been a pretty tough building to win it on the road. The Spurs we've talked about it. They still are quote unquote relatively inexperienced. I think Minnesota's been here before. They've had their backs against the wall in these scenarios. I don't think they fear the Spurs by any means. I don't think that they're looking at them terrified of the opponent they have to play. I think they believe they can beat them. I think they know that they can beat them. Game 7, though,
slightly more incentive.
everything I said about Minnesota, Game 7, Spurs gonna throw them Fiesta colors in the crowd.
Yeah.
Everybody gonna. Hey, Spurs fans, shout it out. That was cool. I can't hate. It was cool. The Fiesta colors in the shirt, that was all right.
Yeah,
They're gonna do that Game 7, have all the momentum.
Yeah.
Wemby gonna have like 7 blocks. Woo-de-woo. Thunder Spurs, yeah.
Other series, the other also really great game yesterday. Cavs Pistons Game 5. I will say since the media maligning of James Harden post Game 2, which I will say still deserved. That was an atrocious performance.
Nicholas, tweet us
right?
out, man.
I was gonna say the last 3 games, Harden's been playing really well. Donovan Mitchell had one like phenomenal
In
game.
all-time resident D Mitch hater had an all-time heater.
Yes,
like a real all-time heater.
like,
Bam had 83 though, so it don't really matter.
Yeah, like when you get in that zone.
Yeah, but like Bam had 83, so like what is 35 for real?
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie,
but-
man.
matter for
Game he had.
But I was gonna say Donovan Mitchell was bad last night.
Boy, bad is not even
James
a
Harden
word.
was great. Man, I will say though, like
Hey, shout out Max Strus too, man.
Yes, I would say
real
shout out
demon.
Max
Strus,
Max
Real
Strus,
demon.
real
That's who had a
efficiency.
real
like
demon
I ain't gonna lie.
20
D-Mitch should
points
be
on, like-
ashamed of him.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna be real. That's what it
D-Mitch kind of saved his stat line in OT.
Yes.
So I'll give him credit for that. He hit a couple
Listen,
really
Gonna
big
give him
shots.
credit.
I ain't gonna lie, man.
He hit a couple really big shots.
They wouldn't have went to
Man.
OT if he wasn't just had poop running down his leg in regulation.
Yeah, he did have man.
It was
Lord.
bad. It was so bad, bro. Like I tweeted it out. I was like, bro, does he know we can see him? Like it was so bad
It's
yesterday.
bad because like literally every other like core Cav
Lord have
showed
mercy.
up for the
Yeah.
game.
Oh, again,
Lord,
another
besides
person, another person we've been making fun of. I think Mobley played
yeah,
really, really
He
well.
had a really good. That was probably his best
really
game.
well.
This is a very textbook like your game was better than. And he had a pretty decent box score, but
No,
your
but
game was better than your box
1988?
score.
His game was better than
No,
yeah.
Like
they were killing
he
off that
had
high
Durant
action,
and
dude.
Hill, like I think the biggest bump in favor of Evan Mobley that's like show that he hooped. Game they went to Paul Reed.
Went to
like, the
B-ball
entire clutch-
Paul.
The entire like fourth quarter clutch time.
That's
they
also
just straight
because
up benched
Jalen
him.
Duren sucks.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I mean,
will get to
he's
that.
had him in hell.
He's had him in
Nah,
hell.
I ain't gonna lie. Jalen Duren had
Uh,
himself in hell the entire playoffs.
Yeah, but
Also, do you know what D-Mitch shot in the second half before OT?
He was 1 for 6 in the fourth quarter. I know that because I'm a hater and
Oh
I
my
study.
Do you know what he was in the third quarter?
God to help us.
like 0 for 4,
You're close.
0 for 3.
Yes.
But he shot 1 for 9.
Yeah, I'm about to say
1 for 9 in the
Because I
second
was about to get it. I was about to get it mixed up because I know he had that nuclear
Oh,
second
man.
half, but he was 1 for 8 in the first half of that game, and he was 1 for 9 in the second half of that
Also,
game.
I will say, shout out James Harden. 30. It was like what 37,
38 and 6. I
38
believe.
and 6.
Yes, 38 points.
Great game from Harden. But I will
3
say,
blocks.
yeah, 3 blocks. Big stock guy. Harden two-way
Demon,
playoff
man.
performer. I will say though, down the stretch of that game. Man, Harden was making a couple of mind-boggling decisions. He did end with like 6 turnovers. He kept splitting at the free throw line. Like I don't remember.
No,
it's crazy.
Bro,
too, 'cause
him
he
getting
started
that-
9 for
like he
9,
doesn't
bro.
do that.
Him getting that, the first O board he got, because it would have been, what, 114, 111, I want to
Yes,
say?
yes.
Him getting that first O board, oh my gosh. Because I was like, gang,
No, that
you
was
missed this
huge.
free throw. I already see this. Tobias Harris going to hit a curl 3
Yep.
in the corner, and we're going to OT, and it's going to be because of you. I'd
Yep.
seen the story before.
I was gonna say
Yeah, but speaking, I wanted to talk about that too because we talked about it like when it happened. Because me and Dre were watching the game. when they got the rebound, there was 20 seconds left.
Yep.
And the shot clock was supposed to reset.
It's supposed to reset to 14. Yeah.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, and I guess they just fouled because they assumed the shot clock was off because the shot clock was off when they fouled James Harden in the first place. But the Pistons could have played that straight up.
Yeah, they should have
and
actually
had a chance to have a shot.
Mm-hmm.
If we're gonna talk about that though, let's talk about another ref ball moment. End of regulation.
Oh yeah, that should have been a foul.
Let's be real. It was at least a second left on the clock. He gets tripped. That's a foul. They're both in the bonus.
The Asar Thompson?
The Asar Thompson, Jared Allen.
Yes.
For those that don't know. It was about 1.1 seconds left on the clock. They're both going. Asar gets the block on Donovan. Block or steal. I don't know what they counted as.
It was a block.
But block on Donovan Mitchell.
He's a defensive.
No, he's like going to save the ball. Him and Jared Allen make contact with each other. Asar doesn't like fully get possession of it, but he's going to get the ball. Like he's going to end up getting the ball.
It's a loose ball foul.
And yeah, Jared Allen, it wasn't like egregious or some dirty play, but like he nudged him, made a little contact with him.
The only reason why I'm not too upset is the Pistons have been playing very physical the entire series, and the refs have been letting them do it, and I think that's the way the game's supposed to be called in the playoffs. So it's like y'all have
my pushback would be two plays before though they had that exact same call for the Cavs because it put them at the free throw line.
Yeah,
I mean that's true, but like I said, I'm not even saying it because I guess if I was a Pistons, I'd probably be pissed right now too. But I guess my thing is you have been getting the benefit of physicality.
It's also
Bro, look at the free throw differential.
I love it. James Harden got fouled a lot.
No, he did. Can I ask you? The first Tobias Harris one, he clipped him. I think that was a foul. What did you think about the second one?
It was a foul,
man.
It was a foul.
We talked about it. I don't know.
They tried to rule that like
he planted right, and then I don't know. It's a bang bang one.
The 3-point they tried
the second
like ruled that he was coming forward.
The one they challenged.
Yes, the one they challenged.
Unnatural.
I don't know about.
I'll be honest. I didn't.
The leg kick looked unnatural to me. If I'm being honest,
the leg kick was not natural. He lands like a full. He lands like a full 3 feet forward, bro.
Come on, man.
No, that's the foot. But I'm saying I don't think the leg kick was natural. I've seen James Harden shoot forever. I know when he's trying to draw a foul.
Come on, bro.
Tobias
Harris is in his personal
I love
space.
James Harden. We all know what he does when he's trying to get the 4-point play. Look at the shot before it even goes in the air. His body's already doing this. Like, he's trying to draw the foul. And I don't blame him for it.
You watch it in video, it's kind of like, what's Tobias supposed to do there?
He jumps into him.
He doesn't jump into him.
He doesn't. What he does, no, he jumps. He plants his foot. He plants his foot not in his landing zone. Harden's legs kick, and then he's in the landing zone. I don't want to harp too much on this, though.
But yeah,
my whole point was that the officiating was consistently...
I didn't love the officiating, period. I thought it was just kind of inconsistent. And again, my biggest problem with officiating is always like, whatever you're going to call, be consistent with it, right? And they were just inconsistent all night on both times. They've been inconsistent for a few games now, I'll be honest with you. Free throw differential, notwithstanding.
Last game, it was 20-38 at the free throw line. Game before that, 12-34. Game before that, 12-34.
It's just been my issue is just the games are just it's just different. Like one night they're calling something, one night they're not. It's just,
obviously
hard to play.
Detroit plays a very physical style of basketball. They do. I don't know the exact foul stats, but I want to assume that they were probably near the top of the league in fouls during the regular season.
Yeah,
I believe they were top 10 last time I did actually look at it.
Wouldn't be shocked.
But it is still like 20 free throw disparity should not happen in an NBA game. I'm sorry. There's no way the level of physicality in a playoff atmosphere is that different between two teams to where there is a 20 free throw disparity without intentional fouling. It wasn't like it was some double, triple bonus scenario in the first half where it was just ticky-tack. Like you intentionally were intentionally calling this ticky-tack stuff, got him in the bonus early. And on the flip side of it, and I get Detroit fans' frustration that I've seen online, like we're not getting the same calls back. Feels like every single time we're in the mid post and Cade gets touched upon the arm. They had to clean that cut he got on his arm. They had to clean it 3 times yesterday while I was bleeding. And I get you. After a while, why isn't my starter getting this foul call? And I'm not.
Yeah.
James Harden is known for baiting foul calls. On the flip side of it, y'all are letting him go out of his way, trying to embellish the contact. I'm just getting hit. Y'all not gonna tell me Evan Mobley and Jared Allen aren't physical now. That this double Max Strus and Dean Wade weren't being physical with them. Like, call it both ways. Just be consistent with it.
But I think flipping to the Pistons side of this game, I think Cade played great. Like
he did.
I think he has been the best player in the playoffs. I'm gonna say it. I think
until down the stretch,
who's played
pretty much.
Who's played better than him? Because the only person I think would arguably was SGA and maybe Wemby, and Wemby hasn't been as good as
SGA had a bad series. Wemby's been in and out.
Wemby's not been better than
the ejection.
He's been the best player in the playoffs. Who's been better than him? I don't even know why we're thinking
I'll be
about it.
honest. My answer, he's not playing anymore. My answer was Scotty.
No,
I mean, I think Scotty was better. But he's not playing anymore, so yeah. Cade's still active. So
the second round of the playoffs, no one has played better than Cade.
He's the best one left for sure. I think
someone would. I think you could argue. You could argue Brunson.
Yeah, you could argue Brunson.
You could argue.
I was gonna say a different name. I think you could probably argue Cat.
Nah,
I am.
Nah, you can't argue.
You can, dude.
Like every playoff metric game.
He's like a. I know it's small sample size on off, but it's like he's like a plus 40.
I think one he is.
I think if you account for like team context, Cade is really out there.
No, he is 100% offense. It is Cade and Tobias.
It is nasty. And like shout out to Tobias, who had been definitely playing above his means like this whole playoffs up to like recently. But like the moment Tobias drops off, you kind of look around and it's like, man, we're really throwing the ball to like again, no disrespect, really throwing it to like Jenkins. We're throwing it to like the corpse of Tobias Harris.
LeVert.
Like we're throwing it to
bro. I was so baffled, like genuinely baffled, but I can't even blame JB Bickerstaff. They had to do an offense-defense sub. And I'm like, all right, yeah, cool. You got us up a SAR out. Yo, Karis LeVert can't be the offensive sub in 2026. He's pretty decent, bro. Duncan Robinson's hurt. I assume he would have played.
Yeah.
Because we were asking for Duncan Robinson all night watching that game. Like, what happened to him? But I assume Duncan Robinson would have played in those minutes. I think it was lower back, something like that.
He's hurt, yeah.
They're missing that punch.
No, but the problem is, right, is they're missing their other all-star.
Yep.
Their guy who I don't know if y'all have looked at them Google Docs, who I think is making second team All-NBA.
Yep.
That's ridiculous.
Like, has been
because he had a second team season, but this postseason,
he had a phenomenal regular season, deserved All NBA selection, whether it's second team or third team, deserved All Star selection. When Cade went down, he averaged 25 and 10 to keep the Pistons afloat down the stretch. It was a huge reason they are a 60+ win team in the regular season. They were calling Baby Embiid, all these things.
He was looking like,
man, I have not seen that player since the playoffs started. I do not know what is wrong with him.
Do you know how many the Pistons have played? How many playoffs?
One double the entire playoffs.
He has one double the entire playoffs.
Did he sneak a second?
He has two?
In the entire playoff.
So he has 2 double-doubles in 13 games?
Oh, the Orlando one. Yeah, the 15 and 15 in Orlando.
12 games.
He has one against Cleveland already?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. He hit the 11 and 12 game.
You can't be getting benched for B-ball, Paul, man.
Yes.
But Paul Reed played the entire fourth quarter and overtime period.
Mind you, he had to because
he was hooping.
Dude, this is a guy who Jalen Duren is pushing 20 points a game in the regular season. And I'll be honest, I don't think he's losing this points because Cade's not throwing him the ball or Cade's playing worse.
Like
I think Cade's
playing great. Yes,
Cade is still giving you he's still spoon feeding him. He's just fumbling the spoon.
I think
it's bad.
It's pretty funny. Like, shout out Paul Reed, who is probably one of the actual most underrated players in the NBA. Like,
great career.
Didn't they get him for free?
It was dirt cheap.
Yeah,
it was like
pretty much
some seconds, I think, if memory serves me correctly. But he is a very unique basketball player in his how he plays. He can kind of dribble, ugly form. Shout out B-Ball Paul, but ugly form. But he can somewhat of a floor spacer, operates as a DHO hub. Like, he has certain functional skills, and I think you've seen the game before we had 15. He went on that run by himself. He was 7 for 7 from the field.
Yep.
You can see in certain areas that Cleveland is allowing these Detroit bigs to operate from. He can capitalize on it. He can just he can put the ball on the floor and kind of make a move. And I want to say to your point, Usid, I've seen Duren operate in those spots in the regular season at times.
I've seen him,
and he's not great at them by any means. I think that's one thing a lot of people overrate about Jalen Duren. He's not a self-creator. His isolation stuff is pretty piss poor, but he ain't this bad. You should be better than this. He's also
dude. I've seen them use Duren out of the mid post. I've seen him function as a pseudo hub for the offense. He's not Clint Capella. He can put the ball on the floor. He can make reads.
Chops, and
he has some self-creation chops.
He should.
More than 2 double-doubles, man.
I'm saying, my biggest thing is the boards is bro, that's one thing that no matter how good your defensive effort was, no matter how you've waned, you've been a really good rebounder. Basically since you entered the NBA.
Yeah, that's his
and it's that's your mean, that's what, it's kind of players have floors, right? Walking into a game. I know Duren should give me rebounding.
Yeah, and it's give me 10 rebounds.
You can have an off game, you can have this, that, but at this point, we're 13 games, 12 games into the playoffs. And he's not getting boards.
And he's been bad. Like the box score looks bad. You watch the game and it looks even worse than what the box score says.
Yes.
I'm not sure there's been a single person in this playoff run who's cost himself more money.
Yeah, he was a minus.
No, I said it earlier. I think
we're talking
about most disappointing players in the playoffs.
Oh, I think he's easy number one.
I was gonna say I said Randall's at 2 because I think Duren is clearly number one.
I don't think
clearly
it's close.
number one.
He's played his way out of a lucrative contract this summer.
And to be honest, if all he did this postseason, and I say all he did, we had a pretty high bar. If he replicated his regular season production, he was going to get a rookie max, and I don't think there was going to be much of an argument against
14 and 11, he probably
exactly like not even the 19 and 11 he averaged in like the regular season. Like if he averaged like a normal like 15 and 10, like he probably still gets it. But like, man, it's just there's no words.
The center position is so weird, bro. Like
bizarre.
Like, how many actual good centers are there if Jalen Duren is not one of them?
I think you can argue at like the highest,
7, maybe,
highest end,
5.
Yeah, the highest end center
Do you
talent.
consider Sabonis in that 5?
No.
I think the highest end center
He
talent
might be the
you can
gatekeeper,
argue
though.
some of the most. Oh, he's like the bar.
He the gatekeeper.
Yeah,
like
good centers.
yeah.
Who? I'm curious. What were the 5 you listed?
Wemby, Chet,
Jokic, Embiid, Cat.
Does Anthony Davis count?
Cat. He doesn't play.
He's not a 5.
Ask Anthony Davis if he's a center.
He's not a 5, bro. He don't want to be a 5.
He don't want to be a fucking 5. Like
he a 4.5.
I might be missing somebody. I feel like I am missing a name off the top of my head. He ain't good yet.
He's not good yet. Yeah,
I'm probably missing a name off the top of my head, but like real, like actual,
Rudy.
Yeah, Rudy's a good man. He's so inept offensively, though. I love you, Rudy.
He's inept offensively.
You don't consider Jared Allen a good center?
Yeah, Jared would be good.
Allen.
Jared would be good.
I'd say Jared Allen.
Yeah.
He's not a star.
I knew I was. Yeah, I was thinking star.
I was saying just a good center.
Yeah, he's a,
period.
okay. Yeah, in that case,
I mean,
yeah.
it opens up a little.
It opens up more.
Yeah, if you say good center period, like if
you're
you're
not playing 30 minutes,
good center period, I'm throwing Neem Skita in there then too. He's a good center.
Yeah, for the minute sample that he played.
Yeah, I was talking about starting caliber guys.
I think he's a starting center.
But he doesn't play 30 minutes.
But I mean, the thing is, a lot of these guys,
most centers don't play 30 minutes.
Most centers aren't good.
I think that's
why most centers are not good. Because like for as good as like Mitchell Robinson is, he can't play 30 minutes a night.
But that's more of like a historically like centers don't play that many minutes. Historically, unless you're like
you're tending to have like
unless you're the best of the best, you tend to not play that many minutes.
Oh no, man.
Yeah,
like what? Like deep. I think the only like real defensive big that plays 30 minutes.
We was playing. He was Rudy, 30 minutes when he was in the playoffs.
No, but I'm be 30 to like Wemby played with 37 the other night. Historically speaking, for a lot of like star centers, that's a ton of minutes.
It is,
and you playing like 37 minutes a night. Clint was definitely playing like 32 minutes a night for us.
7 big in
no, Clint was very good.
Clint was for sure playing like 32 for us.
Clint Capella was very good.
He was like a real depoy though. Like I ain't gonna lie, he was like 15.
Yes, Clint Capella was playing 30.6 minutes per game in the 2018 playoffs.
Funny enough, yeah, he had a couple seasons about like 33. Yeah, he has 3 seasons above 30 minutes a game
in the playoffs or the regular season.
Regular season.
Who, Clint?
Clint. He has 3 seasons.
In the regular season, Clint was playing 27.5. So
Clint's probably also like one of the better conditioned centers in the NBA.
Yeah,
sure. I mean, my point was not to pick on Clint. Clint Capella is very good. My point was Clint Capella is I think was the threshold of a good center.
Yeah.
And I don't think no one's looking back at Clint Capella like, oh my God, that was some sort of all-world center.
Yeah.
Capella's playing 30 minutes a night. I think that's the threshold right there is can you do that?
I think it really does depend. Like in Jalen Duren's case, if his job was solely that of roll big play finisher, it'd be different. His job is a bit more for the Pistons. And I think something that people don't talk about with him, he's not this all-world offensive player. He's also not this all-world defensive player. He is much improved from when he came out of Memphis. Like he is a genuinely way better defender at this point of his NBA career. But he's not some stalwart, rim-protecting monster. He's not all-in-out defensive anchor that just one-mans your entire team. He's improved. Yeah. He's gotten a lot better. But when you are bleeding on offense and your defense isn't all-world level, you're losing value. And you're losing value to the point where J.B. Bickerstaff was in the right to bench you for Paul Reed these last 2 games.
No one thought that was bad.
Like no one thought it was bad.
Crazy.
Paul Reed wasn't played a minute.
He didn't play before in the series.
A minute before that.
That's such a crazy sentence. Like we're really like, man, Duren, pick your head up, bro. Like
he's way better than this. He's way better than this, dude.
He is better than this. Like I've been a fan of Duren. Like I liked him pre-draft. I've liked him on the Pistons.
I think we all like Duren.
Yeah, like we've all liked Duren. We all wanted him. like for the Rockets. I was like,
I definitely
Miles
very,
was
very
giving
pro.
a lot for him, man.
Yeah, like
Miles.
I
He's
was,
not
I
over.
really wanted, I really wanted Duren, and it's just like, man, I know you're better than what you've shown. And it was like maybe the Mitchell Robinson was doing like psychological damage to you. It's like, all right, but like, dude, like, what's going on now? Like, you can't,
Nah, man.
this can't happen.
Yeah, there's no
Doing
excuse.
psychological
There's no
damage.
excuse.
Oh no, sorry, not Mitchell Robinson. Wendell Carter Jr.
Jr.
Yeah, Wendell Carter
There's no
Jr.
excuse.
has like, yeah. And
He got some off the court.
he had off the court attacks.
attribute boost.
That's what I'm saying. Exactly. So I was like,
Somebody take him up on Instagram, bro.
Duren is young, right? Duren is young. So I was giving him a little grace. He's still ass. Don't get me wrong. I flamed him for being ass in that series. But I was giving him a little grace. I was
Then
like,
he
you know
bounced
what?
back.
This is a situation that I don't know too many players have had to deal with. You're fighting on and off the court. Like, it's rough, right? But like, so I was like turning around in the Cavs series. And bro, like, what's happening?
He might have been like worse so far in the Cavs.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's arguably been worse. And it's just, man.
It's been bad, bro.
I mean, I feel like what's being shown right now is that the Pistons have like a Kawhi size like incision.
Oh,
on their
yes,
team.
sir.
Man, I think we
Like
said
they
that
do,
we
bro.
said that one like March, like our February or
Like,
March.
they
we were
need-
like,
Because I think it's very clear. Like, I think Cade is good enough to be heliocentric.
He is.
He's not good enough to be heliocentric, averaging 21 shots a game.
yes,
And
I think that's the problem.
To Cade's credit, I've become away from this more in belief that if he had a guy who could also shoot 20 shots a game, he probably would shoot a little less.
Yep.
I think a lot of what we're seeing now is that he is doing this. I think the shooting part, I think the touches and usage, he's a high touch, high usage guy. I think he just
Which
You probably
to
want him to
his
be.
credit,
Yeah,
I think
you do.
he
He's a good
has
basketball
earned
player.
it.
Yes,
I think
yes.
at this point, if I'm
Mhm.
going into a team with Cade Cunningham, I like he was second in the entire league in assists this year.
Yep.
Like he's
Yes.
not a black hole or
Yes.
anything by any regard.
playmaker.
Like I think he's a very very good
Mhm.
playmaker. I want him leading my team in usage and touches. I don't need him leading in shots.
Because that's it. Like you talk, and I think funny enough, I think this game, like Game 5, is the perfect example of everything that's good about Cade, everything that's bad about Cade, and everything that's bad about how the Pistons are built around him.
Yep.
He had it going for 3.5 quarters, and in the fourth quarter, he just burnt out and started making some like boneheaded decisions and taking some questionable shots. But I mean, you look around, and it's like, what else can
What
he do?
other
Yep.
options? Yeah.
Who else?
Who
is
am I
on-
deferring to?
Yeah, like, there's no one there. Like
I think
again,
he still
shout
got
out
8 points in the
Asar.
first
Asar was
quarter.
was phenomenal defensively.
Yeah, man.
But like having Asar on the floor,
He took a corner
lose
three
on
in the
me.
clutch, bro.
I mean, just as blanket as possible that you can put it. You need somebody on this team that can score in a one-on-one setting.
ball
in
and
basket.
give them the ball.
Put ball in basket.
I'll say this is also the first game in-
So
Oh, actually, no, I lied. Josh has 2 back-to-back games, not scoring 20.
So I will say, us three had Pistons. You had Cavs
had
in
Cavs
6.
in 6.
Are you sticking with Cavs in 6?
It's Captain.
yeah, I am.
Yeah.
I think I am.
You sticking with Cavs in 6? What? I mean, I had Pistons at 5. So
I'm
that's
still
obviously
going to say
wrong.
Pistons in 7.
Pistons in 7.
I think I said Pistons in 6. I've got to say 7 now. So yeah, I'll say
Yeah, I
Pistons.
think I'm gonna go
They
with
come
Pistons
back
in 7
still.
as well. I think they're just they're a really, and again, all the credit to James Harden for how well he's played, but
Oh,
I
yeah.
think the Pistons are tougher mentally, especially with the home court in the Game 7, than what the Cavs are.
I want to. Yeah, I forgot to speak
They
on
just gotta
that.
get there. That's the problem. They
Dang,
gotta get
my
there.
problem- go back to
My
Cleveland.
problem is, man,
They gotta
they
get
really
there.
gave, like, Detroit gave that game up with. They were up
They
6
did.
with,
They
what, a
did.
minute and some change
I
left.
feel
Like, they
like
gave that
Mitchell
game
should
up.
be-
Moments that kill you though,
Yeah.
or the ones you gave away.
It does, right?
There's
Especially
only
losing
so
a
many
game
times
5.
You can give away a game before
Yeah.
you just lose the series.
Especially game 5, because now it's do or die for them. It was a 3-game series going in 2-2. They've got to win this next one.
Yeah, you
Good
wasted
Lord.
a
But
Cade
back-
for
back-
they
to back
gave
do or
up. Man, like that's you just brought it up and it made me think about that. That's why I had to go check on it. I believe they were up like 6 when Asar took that corner 3.
Yeah.
And you think like, oh, whatever, we're up 6 with like 58 seconds left. You be it's like, nah, again, it's a wasted
That
possession.
should have won.
Yeah,
won.
that was bad.
I want to see how Harden looks in the closeout game, and then I think because I mean obviously I'm a Harden fan, so I like that he played good yesterday, but I kind of know how the cycle goes.
Hey man,
So,
we breaking the cycle.
Yeah,
Game five,
I
Harden
want to
was ass.
see
We
what
showed
that
up
looks
last
like,
night.
and then I will be able to be like,
Yeah,
okay, all right,
30
Yeah, I
got
think
over the hump.
it would be Harden definitely like exercising.
No,
some demons.
technically speaking, this is game 6 Harden.
it is.
Technically speaking, this is when we're actually kind of good.
Hey man, game
So-
1, game 4, game
Because we
6,
broke
man.
the game, but I'm kind of worried because we were good game 5.
We did break the
Did we
game
take?
5
But did we
curse,
take
though.
the game 6 normal
And throw
good
it to game
juju
5?
and use it?
Because I'll be honest, Harden's normally ass in game
Yeah, his
5.
game
Yes,
five is
so
terrible.
it's like-
and he was great. So it's like,
Did we take the game 6 juju?
Bro, we
But
breaking
wait, wait,
curses.
walk me though. As a Harden fan, maybe we use the game 5 juju, save some of it. We can let game 6 be a wash, bring it back game 7.
So this is the thing, right? This is how you know we're all like
no, we go to game
this
7.
is how you know we all.
That's right.
I'm saying, this is how you know we all watch
You're
Harden
lying,
and we're
bro.
all Harden fans, bro. Every single person on here knows he's due.
Yeah.
He is due for a stinker. We just don't know if it's going to be game 6 or game 7. If
hopefully
he
don't
plays
happen.
game 6 and game 7 great,
He's had
great.
3 straight great games. I low key.
That's the problem.
He used. I mean,
think he
okay,
might
but
be good game
he had
6, no
stinkers in
funny.
games 1 and game 2, maybe. So like, you know,
Hey,
man.
the Warriors are-
game
Game one is normally
that
a
nigga
stinker.
is the best game
Yeah,
1 player
game
ever.
one's normally
and he
great.
He did have a stinker, so we might
That's true.
like
Maybe
we
it's
might, we might
Did we
reverse the
reverse?
order. We might reverse the order on the
But yeah, so you're still Cavs in 6. We're also Pistons.
I'll stay
in 7.
Pistons.
I kind of want the Cavs to win, but I also like
If
the Pistons.
the Pistons
I want a
win
7-game
game
series.
6, I think they do win game 7, but I think they don't win game
So
6.
I want to set the scene because I think there's been both the Spurs and Wolves and the Cavs and Pistons have been very competitive series. Whether they end in game 6s or not, they've been nip and tuck. They've been back and forth, close games, and they're both going to be long running series. There is an undercurrent throughout
this
these
is a phenomenal
entire playoffs of two teams, one in the East, one in the West, that have been putting up numbers that are like insane. There's one team in the West that has won 8 straight games, and there's one team in the East that has won 7 straight games. And it just seems like no matter what happens to either of these series, you're going to have to play one of these two teams that are playing just out of body.
Do you mean
juggernauts.
the one team that has a plus 20 net rating in the playoff and the other one that has a plus 17 net rating?
Yeah, and it's just kind of like,
It's hilarious.
I guess the question really comes to mind, like, no matter what happens in these other 2 second round series, is a Knicks Thunder finals inevitable?
I think a Knicks finals appearance is. I think that
Yeah,
they
the Knicks
will
gonna be-
they
I'm
will
being
make
gonna be
the
there, bro.
like they'll
You
just
think?
they'll make the finals. I think
somebody on the Knicks dying. They gonna be there.
I was like I think Philly and Embiid
mean,
was the
OG's
last.
hurt.
I think they said it's
they're
optimistic for him.
optimistic,
So
but I mean,
even
that is
I don't know
someone
if they
labored.
don't need OG to beat Detroit. I'm gonna be real. They don't need OG to beat Cleveland. Just respectfully, I
probably
don't think they do.
He do not.
Yeah.
They need him if they want to win a title for
Yeah.
for sure. But I don't think that they need OG to beat whoever comes out of that Cleveland Pistons series. And it's funny because, like, you know, shout out to Nick's Twitter fried us. The other,
Yeah, I picked
go, I'm gonna say, he picked the Knicks in the series. I think the second funniest part is go back to the earliest episode. Me and you both had a Knicks Thunder finals preseason.
We said Knicks.
We had Knicks Thunder. Like, hey, don't blame us.
Knicks before the
I'm gonna be
playoffs
honest.
started. Like,
Don't blame. I'm an Embiid fan. All right, bro. Like Embiid, I thought Big B had me. I thought he had me, but like we picked
yeah,
y'all.
I ain't
Like,
gonna lie. I was feeling with my heart, bro. I'm gonna keep it.
I was, bro. I was. I thought he would be. The story made too much sense.
it's wishful thinking.
Jokic laws. We finally win a series. We
Yeah.
gotta make one.
We beat the Celtics in 7, bro.
I'll
Like,
say, bro,
we breaking all the
We beat a
curses.
3-1 comeback. Like
we thought it was balanced to the centers. We forgot about Cat, bro. Like,
Yes.
there was a third.
Nah,
There was a
Cat-
third center.
Hey, man, 3 straight Western or Eastern Conference Finals. Period.
Yeah.
3 straight
Conference finals,
Yeah,
yeah.
he made the Western one too.
3 straight conference
So
finals.
3 straight conference finals.
Yeah, it's like a baby bronze.
Hey, man,
stat.
winning player, man.
real winner, man.
Baby Bronze.
Baby Bron is what
Hey,
he is.
whichever
Hey, man.
conference he in the finals.
We gonna
Conference
make it.
finals. But yeah, I guess. Yeah, so we all basically have the Knicks winning.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be real, man. Like,
They're the best team in the East.
gang, you look at how hard the Cavs and Pistons are scrapping, and it's like, dude, like they just playing different. They playing a whole.
They about to have a
different
week
sport,
off too.
Yeah,
like
that's
that-
big.
And I think that's the thing that's the biggest thing for the Knicks. Gang, look at their minutes played.
Yeah, they're not playing
Like
minutes
it's
at
so
all.
much lower than it has
And low
been since
difficulty.
Brunson has been there. And then you add on the fact, like you said, not only are they not playing, they also don't have a full week off. Mind you, the Cavs and Pistons are out there dying on the
Back
court.
to back,
Yeah.
both
Both teams might go to
maybe
back-to-back
have
game
back to back
sevens.
game seven. So
We're about to go into a Knicks finals run where the only person who gave them a real run for their money was CJ McCollum.
And I ain't gonna lie, they lost both of them by 1.
Yep, that's crazy.
I feel like that's the biggest thing that like shows you like they just playing on a different
Yeah.
playing field than the rest of the guys. Like the 2 losses is 1 point.
They've also been just insanely hot from 3, like insanely
they're
hot.
shooting
They're shooting like
40%.
42% for the entire playoffs.
It did go up.
Like, it's
after
like
that.
nuts. Like the whole team is just Steph Curry now. So it's like fair. It's like-
63 true shooting as a team.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. Yeah, so like maybe that cools off, possibly, right? We'll see. I don't think it does because I think the biggest thing is, and we talked about this at nauseum when we were talking about Brunson during the regular season. He's having his ups and downs, right?
Yeah.
We talk about heliocentrism. We talk about the small guard mentality and the small guard team building issues in the league when you have these heliocentric guys that aren't insane assist rate people who are also smaller and defensive sieves, all respect to Brunson, right?
Yeah.
And I think Brunson being so inconsistent, we've kind of hinted at this, I think, in the last few episodes, but I'm really like leaning into it now. I think Brunson being so inconsistent and them hiring Mike Brown, again, shout out to Thibodeau, I think allowed them to really lean into this more egalitarian offense. Yeah. And you're seeing it with like Cat is averaging like 6.5, 7 assists. Brunson is like way less on ball. OG's averaging 20 when he's in the lineup. Everyone's just hooping. And it's just like, man, it reminds me of these really, really well-built teams.
Yeah,
and
obviously, floor is Brunson proof now.
It's Mike Brown, if people don't know his history, was a big-time Golden State Warriors assistant during their dynasty, then went to the Kings, tried to install that same kind of brand offense with Sabonis and Fox, got them to a 3 seed. They lost to the Warriors in the first round, and then it's kind of come here. And I think he's really finally, it took till the playoffs to really establish that style of offense. Yep. And it really reminds me of the Warriors. And obviously they're way less talented because they don't have a Steph, they don't have a KD, they don't have a Clay, right? But in terms of like the way that they're playing, the way they're passing the ball around, the efficiency that they're shooting it from 3, it feels like when they're on, like what are you supposed to do?
It's very like beautiful game Spurs-ish.
It really is.
Like if Brunson was like a little less good, like he would be like what Tony Parker was like to those Spurs teams.
That's a crazy analogy.
I mean, because like,
that's real.
He Brunson was averaging like 23 instead of like 27. Like that's what it would be. Like
that's real.
And I think that's part of the reason why this Knicks team is more resilient and they're beating the brakes off of teams more often than they were the last 2 times they've been in the playoffs. They just, as a team, like, again, their overall shot quality is just so high.
Yeah.
Like they're getting, I think we talk about like possession maxing with like rebounds and steals and like turnover suppression. Again, their possession maxing shot quality. Like they're getting a good shot on majority of these possessions. And I think that's a lot of the reason why like they're just taking off on these other teams. Cause like in the playoffs where your shot quality is supposed to go down, you're supposed to have less possessions where you're getting these super duper high quality looks, like 3-point percentage is down, offensive ratings are down, all these teams are down. All of their stuff is up. They're getting better shots, they're shooting better. And I mean, that's leading to them blitzing other teams because instead of them getting worse, like, their guys are playing better. And like, yeah, I don't think they're going to shoot 42% the rest of the playoffs. It's kind of ridiculous.
They're due for some regression.
But like, they might go from like 63 true shooting as a team to like 60. And I'm going to be real, 60 in the playoffs is still like a historic playoff offense. Like, they're at like a 128 offensive rating.
It's something absolutely nuts.
Right. So obviously it's not going to be that, but like, even if they fall to like a 120, which that's an 8-point drop, that's a pretty large drop. Like
you're still 120.
120 in the playoffs is still ridiculous. Like,
they're 124.8 right now, 104.8 on defense.
Okay, so I think they're 129 and a half court. That's what it is. Because funny enough, for whatever reason.
Yeah, best half court offense in the playoffs as well. It's just like, I think they're making the finals. Shout out Knicks fans.
I think they have a real chance to win, genuinely.
So let's flip it on that side. It feels like the Thunder are kind of, I don't know, take it for granted is probably the wrong phrase, but I think we're just kind of used to it at this point. Like, it does feel like, I think if this was another team that just cruised to the 3rd straight number 1 seed, won 60 plus games again, and has not lost a playoff game, we would be like, oh my God, like, isn't like this team is so scary. But it's just kind of like, so yeah, it's the Thunder. Like, what do you expect?
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing for them is the 2 teams that we've seen them play, everybody expected them to wipe the floor with them. I still think that we do that.
Beat the Lakers more than what they did.
I still think we do that. We do it a bit unfairly as basketball fans. Like, these are still playoff caliber teams that they just mollywopped. Like that says more about the Thunder, I think, than it does the Suns and the Lakers. I think that just shows the clear talent gap that the Thunder have on them. I think they beat the Spurs in a 7-game series. I don't know if it's a pretty series for them. Like, I think that the conundrum of Wemby, I think it's a real 7-game series. I think them having home court advantage is the difference. I'm just not so sure if this Spurs team will have a shot. Will have the shot making necessary in a 7-game series to really go blow for blow with them. But I think defensively they'll hold up very well. I think those guards will be very, very tough with SGA on the ball. I think that they will try and make his life as difficult as possible. We'll see what about Jalen Williams, what his status is going to be. But yeah, I still think I'm leaning Thunder in, I'd say 7. I just think they get it done at home.
So who wins and how long that goes depends on the end of this series with the Timberwolves. Because I think we all have the Spurs here. I think if they win Game 6, I think it gets more like coin flip-ish to me. I think if they have to play a game 7 and then go from a game 7 to having to play a team that's had like a week and a half off, yeah, I'm a little bit more worried about their prospects of like turning around and like winning another series. Because I think you're kind of, when you come off game 7s like that, especially if it's a really close one, which it might be, you're kind of like forfeiting the game 1 right afterwards, because it's a 3-day turnaround, and that's kind of nasty as opposed to a team that's had like a week off.
Yeah,
but I don't know if they take care of business and sit. And mind you, I think that's a huge winning in Minnesota.
Yeah, that's a
with
big
the season on the line.
That's a big win.
If they are able to get that off, given how well they played the Thunder, obviously it's regular season, and how some of the stuff the Spurs can do, SGA's kind of not look so great against. I don't know. I think that Knicks making the final is much more of a foregone conclusion.
Yeah, I would agree on that.
I
would for sure agree on that.
Also, we did a bet earlier.
Oh, the point differential bet?
Yes.
I wonder what game 4 was close. I wonder how this affected it.
The Thunder beat the Suns by a margin of 17.2 points per game.
Yeah.
Right?
How close is this?
It's got to be OD close, because game 4 was very close.
Thunder, I think me and Will said that they would beat the Lakers by a larger margin.
Yes.
They beat the Lakers by 16 points per game.
Wow.
So it did come down
the game
to
4 did it?
Yes, the game 4 did it. It brought it down. It brought it down to 16 points a game.
I ain't gonna lie, it was trending.
It was looking. All those games went the same way. The Lakers would be in the game, and it would end up a 17-point win. And I was thinking like, I'm gonna lose this bet to Will. And this series is like way more competitive than the Sun series is, and no one's gonna believe it.
Yeah,
because that's what every third quarter when SGA would go sit down and LeBron would go sit down, AJ Mitchell, Jared McCain, like they were all just going like a 10-0 run, and then by the time they check back in, it's a 20-point game.
It's literally game 4 that did it. Because I will say it's funny that we're like talking about these series, like they were like it was a 16, 17 point differential.
Yes,
that's kind of nuts. Like these games were really like. And that's I think
they felt closer than I guess they actually were.
I've felt that way watching the Thunder I've felt that game watching the Thunder this playoffs, where it's like every game I'm like, oh, like this feels like a game, and then I check the final score and it's like, oh, they've won by 15.
I think that's the nature of their play style, because they're not this. They're a great offense, right? Don't hear what I'm not saying, but because of the way they get their offense, a lot of it is role players just hitting their catch and shoot shots. You kind of see during those stretches of the game where Lou Dort's missing, Caruso maybe didn't hit his threes, Case and Wallace didn't have it going on. Depending on if AJ Mitchell had a good stretch or not, that's when the game ends up like 78-72 OKC. And they're still in control of the game. You have the feeling they're going to win it. And in the fourth quarter, it goes from 78-72 and it balloons into 101-83. Starters are being pulled. Game's over now. And it's like, all right, cool. That's just kind of the rinse and repeat of what their cycle has been this playoffs.
It's also and like I'll give the Thunder, I think not credit, but it's kind of human nature a little bit when you're up 3-0. That game 4, people tend to just take their foot off the gas.
Not even that. Your opponent also turns it. I mean, that's their game 7. They're playing for their season.
It's part of their game 7, and the fact that even with that, they've managed to close out these game 4s, because the Suns differential is only 9. The final game against the Lakers is only 5. Right? It kind of shows that, like, man, this is a really, really, really good team.
Without Jalen Williams.
Yeah, because that is I think a lot of times in the playoffs, the way series go is like the more desperate team wins. Which is why the team goes 2-0, team wins game 3, game 4 depends, game 5 it like kind of depends. Like that's kind of how series go, right? The fact that the Thunder are not only like blowing teams out, bludgeoning them to start series, and then when that team is at their most desperate, they're still just winning the clutch time game. It's just like, man, it's going to be really tough.
I'm on the Real app right now going through like all of the games, and they have like the little game track, and it's always this point where like the Lakers either take the lead or the line is like this because it's a 4-point game, and then it just gradually gets larger. It's not like it's weird. They end up going on like the quietest 14-2 runs ever. Like you look up and it's like, oh, we have to call timeout because we're down 12 now. It's like, oh, we have to call timeout because Alex Caruso just got back-to-back steals and they just got back-to-back dunks.
Yep. And
it just snowballs. It continues like, I want to see. I got to ask Mitty if he can like, they probably go on the most like 8-0 runs in the NBA.
Oh, no. I've seen that stat. They do.
Yeah, like
they've had the most 10-0 runs, I think, the last like 2 years.
Yes.
They've had the most 10-0 runs.
It makes it like every single time you look up, it's like it might be a tie game. They might be losing. They might be up to 8-0 run, 10-0 run, 12-0 run.
The big thing about that is that they're the first team I've seen since, again, I keep comping teams to Golden State, right? But Golden State would do that with threes. It would just bludgeon you by threes. You would look down 30 seconds. They've hit 4 threes. You're down by 12 all of a sudden, right? The Thunder do it. The Thunder do it with turnovers. And it's like, we've talked about this before, like possession maxing, win the possession battle. The Thunder, just turn you over.
Yep.
Like they consistently get turnovers against every team. Remember we were talking about the Pacers in the finals.
Turnover runs too. That's
turnover, like real turnover runs.
They get like 3 in a row.
Yeah, and that's how they go on these like 10-0 runs. It just feels like they just keep getting the ball over and over. And we were talking about against the Pacers. Halliburton is like debatably the best turnover suppressor in like NBA history as a point guard, right? And even in the finals, like that series went 7. Halliburton, there were games where they were turning the pace overs like 20 times.
Yeah, they had a 25.
Yeah,
I'm
25 turnover game.
25 turnover game. They just somehow still won.
Yeah, the guys the Pacers had devil magic, but like they somehow still won. But like they're still turning the Pacers over like 20 times. It just feels like no matter what series you go into, like the Thunder are going to make you turn the ball over. And I think that's when I look at this Knicks matchup and it's like, it's
that's a
like,
real
that's a real
unstoppable force versus a movable object because they don't turn the ball over.
Because the Knicks don't really turn the ball over and they shoot a ton of threes. And we've kind of talked about with this the Thunder. They're not really that good of a 3-point shooting team, right? Aside from like AJ Mitchell, Jared McCain, like having hot nights. It's really interesting, finals, right? Like if that is the finals, like. Man, if the Knicks are hot enough,
have a great matchup with
get it.
If the Knicks are hot enough, they could get it. If last year's finals taught us anything,
be very, very intrigued. The biggest thing that the Knicks and Thunder both, I think, have going for them is the actual idea of having multiple good centers.
Yep.
And I am very, very intrigued to see.
Cat is fun.
Chet V Cat one. More important to me, Isaiah Hardenstein and Mitchell Robinson, former teammates, now playing against each other in a finals matchup. That would be. Because of the style of play that both those guys have to present in order for their teams to win. We talk about it with the Thunder all the time. Hardenstein, Chet, what they bring to that roster from a rebounding perspective, from just the ability to run double bigs and that type of rim protection with how they play funnel defense, it is insane. Knicks can't do it to the same level because Cat isn't Chet. But, man, we have talked for years about how ridiculous of an offensive rebounder Mitchell Robinson is and how many games he has won for them simply off of just boxing people out and making sure he's causing havoc. These are two teams that have been coached to do this up. All of their wings do it. Every guard except for SGA kind of O boards, but every guard except for Brunson does it. It's going to be a really physical series. And I think that's what I'm really most looking forward to. It's going to be a really tough, really gritty, grinded out series.
I feel like it's going to be the most competitive finals we've had in a while.
Well, we just had one game last year.
That's true. You know, I guess you're correct. But I mean, like going into the series, like
that is fair.
Like we didn't think the Pacers were going to be that good.
Hey, I did, but that's not the
fair.
Yeah, but even then, I think to your argument, not to make this like an ESPN thing, but I think looking at that matchup on paper, it is really going to come down to like, Shea, can you give us 40 to keep up with this? Because I think the Knicks role players are going to score better, and it's like, Shea, you really want to?
I think they're also going to
take best in the world
better than them too, because that's the other thing. Like we talk about Mitchell Robinson as a rebounder,
Josh Hart
Cat as an offensive rebounder.
Yeah. I'm saying it's really going to come down to like, Shea, if you're best in the world, bro, can you average 40 and get this win?
Good series.
Can you average 40?
You know what's crazy? Does that sound unbelievable to you against the Knicks?
Yes, against the Knicks. And it's no discredit to Shea. I don't think
40 is crazy.
Though.
Yeah,
they got too many defenders to, and I hate saying to but like they ain't going to let him walk to 40.
I mean, we average.
That's what I'm saying. Like they are going to.
The greatest of all time.
This Knicks team, OG, Mikhail's taking a massive step back. But they have enough wing bodies to just throw at him and be like, we're not letting you drop 40, bro. Like we're just not.
Towards them.
Yeah, I can see that.
I'm very intrigued to see how they guard him, though. I'm very intrigued to see. Because I wonder if they do go that route of just like, all right, you got to drop 60, or are they going to say, AJ Mitchell, how good are you really? Jalen Williams, how's that? I forgot what he got hurt now, but how's that really feeling?
Something like that.
That would be fun. All right. That's it.
That has been another episode of the Right Read Podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for stopping by once again. As always, be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe. Everybody's links will be down below in the description. As always, you can find us on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast at. Be sure to hit the notification bell to stay up to date with everything we do. Follow us on Twitter as well. That link will also be down below in the description. New episodes as always, Tuesdays and Fridays. And we'll catch y'all on the flip side.